innocents in need of my sword.
Usagi, help me, please!
Sometimes strength is not enough. If you ever need me, I will return.
Usagi is back! Today is a day I have been looking forward to for a long while now. The day when the rabbit samurai Miyamoto Usagi finally appears in the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles series. Longtime Turtles fans may remember this guy as having appeared in both of the former cartoon shows, usually shown as a visitor from another world where animals are dominant and live in a feudal Japanese society, and always as an ally of the Turtles. Okay, yeah, but so what? He's just some bit character that showed up once or twice, right? Not so, my friends. You see, Usagi's history with the Turtles goes back a bit further than that. It's a decently well-known fact by now that the Turtles started out as a black and white one-shot satire comic meant to parody the grimmer direction many comic books were going at the time. But there was another comic book series about animals taking up Japanese warrior tradition that began at that same time. And that was Usagi Yojimbo, written and drawn by Asian American cartoonist Stan Sakai, chronicling the tales of the rabid ronin Miyamoto Usagi as he travels the land walking the path of the warrior. This series is still going today, still all drawn and written by Stan Sakai, and though I only started reading it a couple years ago, it almost instantly became my favorite comic book. Anyway, Sakai befriended the Turtles creators Eastman and Laird, resulting in a few comic book crossovers a good while before the cartoons decided to adapt the character. And while the Turtles went on to become a massive commercial franchise with many iterations and adaptations, Usagi has remained consistently its own thing in the comic book world. But by now, it has become tradition for the two franchises to meet. And it's finally happening on Nickelodeon. Now, I really wanted to go into detail about the comic books and tell you about my favorite stories, but there's like over 30 years of material to plow through, so I'm gonna need a little time. Until then, let's take a look at Usagi's other animated appearances, shall we? Usagi's first cartoon appearance was in the aptly titled 1989 episode Usagi Yojimbo. Here, Usagi is seen fighting some pig samurai through a portal when Donatello and the Shredder start working on teleportation machines at the same time, which messes up the signals.
Be warned, you are no match for me.
I can beat you in my sleep. In fact, as you can tell by my voice, I am asleep. Usagi crosses into our world and, in good superhero fashion, gets in a tussle with the Turtles before either party can say as much as a hello or how you doing. Once everybody stops measuring dicks for a few seconds and calm down, Usagi introduces himself properly.
My name is Usagi Yojimbo.
Fuck you! His name is Miyamoto Usagi! The comic book is titled Usagi Yojimbo! We're only 6 minutes in and you've already fucked it up!
That means rabbit bodyguard.
Oh! So you have time to translate the title, but not to read enough pages of the comic to get his name right? Oh, screw you all! I hate you! I want you to die! The Turtles are more than a little confused about the situation.
He's not only from medieval Japan, but also from an alternate universe, so naturally, he speaks English.
Oh, shut up, Raph. Don't you have some Warner siblings to babysit or something? So since the Turtles can't pinpoint Usagi's home dimension, he's stuck in New York with some typical fish out of water jokes. The Shredder's machine is screwing up the power in New York though, so the Turtles drag Usagi along to meet April and Irma.
Why, thank you. I love a man who comes bearing gifts.
Ah, you are most welcome.
Oh, no! Not another mutant!
Alright, Irma, that's it. We warned you about racist remarks at the office. It's sensitivity training for you, Missy.
My name is Usagi Yojimbo.
So Shredder starts summoning foot soldiers all over the city, and Usagi utterly tears ass through them and goes off in New York on his own for some comedy shenanigans. Like managing to enter a conveniently rabbit-themed restaurant.
Brothers!
Okay, I'm sorry, but this just looks to me like a black man entering a restaurant full of waiters wearing blackface and being none the wiser about it, and I feel like an absolute bastard for laughing at it. He even ends up thinking they're slaves and tries to liberate them. I mean, I couldn't make up this shit if I tried. The gang surmises that Shredder is searching for something in Little Tokyo, and Splinter has an inkling that it's something belonging to a friend of his.
It houses a collection of mystical oriental relics, all relating to animals. My old friend, Obento, is guardian.
Your friend's name is Lunchbox? When the hell did you turn into Jason Mewes? Splinter turns out to be right, of course, and the Foot steals what turns out to be a dragon egg and let it hatch so it can terrorize the city. The Turtles then save Obento from being executed by catapult, what? And now have to deal with the dragon. Obento, however, doesn't want them to hurt it.
You are a fellow reptile. Surely you must know how humans misunderstand you.
Oh my god, again? Why is everyone so racist in this episode?
Everyone's a little bit racist sometimes.
Anyway, Usagi uses a convenient magic candle to turn the dragon back into an egg to save the day, and ends up staying with Obento until Donatello can find a way to fix the portal and send him home. In his second episode, Usagi Come Home, Shredder decides to get revenge on Usagi and the Turtles by turning them against each other. He does this by kidnapping Obento and challenging Usagi for his freedom, on the condition that if Usagi loses, he has to kill the Turtles. Through a lot of cheating courtesy of Bebop and Rocksteady, Shredder wins, and Usagi, feeling honor-bound, goes off to shell out some punishment to the Turtles. Don't you even dare play the booing crowd sound! If the 2003 show can get away with doing that pun every episode, I can get away with doing it once! Usagi assaults the gang in their sewer home and first attempts to drown them all in New York's famous magical clothes-changing poop water. We then dedicate a good chunk of the episode to the Turtles and Usagi fighting all across New York. With plenty of silliness to go with it, of course.
These stairs, they have a mind of their own.
Okay, I admit that actually is kind of funny.
Will you sign my egg, Mr. Easter Bunny?
Perhaps there is hope for this dimension. Their young are evolving into a higher life form.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
Oh, shut up! Eventually, Usagi explains the situation properly, and upon discovering the Shredder's cheating, rejoins the Turtles to rescue Obento. They track them all down to a fireworks factory and light up the whole supply to cover their escape.
Ooh, it's World War III all over again!
Ah yes. My mother told me of the Great World War of 1989, and of my troubled birth in the trenches between the bomb craters. I still hear the trembling in her voice and see the terror in my father's eyes as they think back to that fateful day. So Obento is saved and everybody has a big pizza party.
You know, I think I'm going to like living in this world.
And he does! So much in fact that Donatello never fixes the portal and sends him home, because this was his last appearance in the Fred Wolf cartoon. Now, to be fair, this was a simpler time in cartoons, so one shouldn't really expect too many ties to the comics. And while it's pretty clear that the crew behind this cartoon only included Usagi to have another figure to sell rather than to try and do him any justice, these episodes are still decently fun. And watching Usagi and the Turtles go at it for like half an episode is actually pretty exciting. I'd say these episodes are fine. For what they are, anyway.
My name is Usagi Yojimbo.
Your name is gonna be in the fucking obituaries if you keep that up, buddy. Take the compliment you got and fuck off. Usagi next appeared in the 2003 Fox Kids series alongside his sometimes partner Gen in the second season's Big Brawl story arc. Here the Turtles discover that Splinter regularly sneaks off to participate in an interdimensional tournament for warriors across various realities. A tournament both he and his old master Yoshi have won in the past.
It's like finding out your dad is Superman!
Oh, Mikey, that's adorable! Man, it's moments like these that make you my favorite turtle. By the way, this arc is pretty plot heavy, so prepare for things to get convoluted in this recap. Anyway, it turns out the tournament is held by a being called the Daimyo, who is father to the Ultimate Ninja, an enemy that attacked the Turtles before, although he claims to have turned over a new leaf and regret his actions. With a bit of convincing, Splinter allows the boys to enter the tournament. But as Leo goes off on his own to admire Splinter and Yoshi's champion statues, he gets attacked by mysterious shadow beings, and is promptly rescued by none other than Usagi.
You fight without honor, assassin!
And much like how this show was generally much more in line with the comics, Usagi is much truer to text here.
I am Miyamoto Usagi.
Hallelujah! Oh yeah, that's... Wait.
I am Miyamoto Usagi.
Fuck it, close enough. Hallelujah! In fact, they really go into detail here. Look at this flashback where Usagi saves Splinter from a bitter competitor named Draco. His design looks a lot like he did in the early days of the comics, compared to present day where he looks more like the modern comic book version. Stuff like this just warms my nerdy little heart. Usagi and Leo become fast friends after this and head off to the arena for the tournament to start. And here we meet Gen.
I did not think you went in for contests of honor.
Honor? No, I'm not in it for honor. I'm in it for the money.
Well, he's definitely in character. The tournament begins, and while Usagi fights a weird cycloptic lip centaur thing, Splinter withdraws from the tournament to give his sons time to shine, allowing Michelangelo to move on to round 2, along with Leonardo and Raphael. Donatello's not quite so lucky.
I don't believe it! I'm the first turtle eliminated? The guys won't ever let me live this down.
Come on, Donnie, of course they will. They're your brothers. Your teenage brothers. Stuffed to the brim with testosterone. Oh no. Donnie. Usagi and Leo are then paired against each other in round 2, but the Ultimate Ninja absolutely totally surprises everyone in the audience by still being a pile of shit, and shoots a poison dart at Leo. Then, while Usagi and Donatello take Leo to the infirmary, he even sends Shadow Warriors to attack his father and tries to blame it all on Splinter when he finds him.
Splinter.
See how he points to the assassin?
I don't know, man. All I see is an ass pointing. And of course, because nobody had guessed he was evil yet, he then reveals his whole plan to Splinter like a complete idiot and turns out to be working with Draco, who attacked Splinter all those years back. Cue shocked audience gasps. Raph and Mikey tour the area blissfully unaware of what's going on, and Mikey gets offended when Raph makes it clear he doesn't believe he can win. So when they get paired against each other in round 3, Mikey manages to win by simply annoying Raph into submission in hilarious fashion. Raphael decides to drown his sorrows alongside the turtle's old ally, the Triceraton gladiator Traximus, who is also there for the tournament. And when Traximus reveals that Splinter has been framed for attacking the daimyo, the two go off to rescue him. Usagi and Donatello, meanwhile, are attacked by Shadow Warriors trying to finish the job on the daimyo, even using Leo's swords to further frame the turtle family. And just to say that this fight is long and awesome is totally an understatement.
I believe this belongs to my friend Usagi!
And I believe I have something of yours, Donatello!
They switch weapons! Oh my god, this is so cool! The Ultimate Ninja keeps playing the good guy and allows the tournament to continue despite his father's injuries. Gen is eliminated, but Michelangelo manages to advance to the finals. Leonardo awakens to assist Donatello and Usagi, and Raph and Traximus manage to rescue Splinter. Draco and the Ultimate Ninja start fighting over the daimyo's magical war staff, and end up crashing into the tournament during the final match, with everyone quick to follow. And hold on everybody, cause this is where shit gets really weird. To cut it short, Draco is so evil that just wielding the staff causes a rift in time and space to appear that threatens to swallow everything, and now everyone is fighting over the staff so the daimyo can get it back and close the rift. But not before both Draco and his son are sucked into the vortex, much to the daimyo's sorrow. And with that, the tournament ends with Mikey as the champion, which he spends like the whole next season rubbing in everyone's faces. Leo and Usagi give each other a respectful farewell, and everyone returns to the sewer never to encounter Draco and the Ultimate Ninja again. I'm just fucking with you, they come back next season. Before we get into that though, I really do like this arc. With 4 episodes, it's spread out way better than I make it sound in my recap, and it's nice to see Usagi and Leonardo meet in a friendly manner from the start. Sure, Usagi is a secondary player here and is still much more of a turtle story, but just to see him done right and treated with respect is a wonderful experience for a fan. You see, one day as the gang just sort of chill in the lair, Draco and the Ultimate Ninja appear, now fused together into a being called the Ultimate Draco, somehow wielding the time staff belonging to a timekeeper named Lord Simultaneous. Look, I didn't say the Turtles universe wasn't complicated, alright? Just try to keep up. This is hard for me to summarize too. And uses said staff to scatter the turtles across realities and kidnap Splinter. And where does Leonardo just so happen to show up?
This looks like feudal Japan.
Leonardo barely finishes his sentence before he's attacked by a familiar face to Usagi fans. The lady samurai Tomoe Ame, who thinks he's out to attack her vassal, the young Lord Noriyuki. He manages to defeat and calm her down, and the three get properly introduced. And just as Leonardo starts to put 2 and 2 together and realize where he is, they're all suddenly attacked by the mole ninja of the Mogura clan, trying to kidnap Lord Noriyuki. Oh my god, holy shit, they haven't been in the comments for decades! Oh my god, this is so cool! They fail and take Tomoe instead, but Leo and Noriyuki are saved from the ninja by... well, who else?
Usagi! Welcome to my world, Leonardo-san. Your presence is as fortuitous as it is mysterious.
Oh, wow. That has got to be the most polite way to go, what the fuck are you doing here? Oh, and also, Gin is there. As it turns out, Lord Noriyuki is being targeted for assassination by the evil and influential Lord Happy, who has promised that any ninja clan to kill the young lord will gain his favor, and Usagi and Tomoe are trying to bring him to the Shogun for safety. Leonardo naturally agrees to help. Seeing Tomoe as a way to lure the lot of them to him, Lord Happy sends Chizu and her fellow Neko ninja off to send Usagi and Noriyuki a message. And kill Leonardo if he interferes, of course. Unfortunately, Chizu's involvement is just a short cameo, but hey, I appreciate the effort. When the gang receives the message, Lord Noriyuki demands they all go to save Tomoe, even though everyone agrees that it's obviously a trap. And they head to the Neko ninja hideout in disguise to sneak inside and free her.
Ninja garb. I feel cloaked in dishonor. We will speak of this to no one.
Yeah, hi. Ninja friend here. Standing right next to you, buddy. Usagi manages to free Tomoe, but he and everyone not named Leonardo are caught either way and brought before Lord Happy. He gloats about his victory long enough for Leonardo to intervene, and pretty soon everyone is kung fu fighting.
But kung fu is Chinese!
Oh my god, just let a guy tell a joke! Lord Noriyuki awesomely grows a pair and saves Leonardo from getting eaten by Happy, just in time for the Shogun's men to arrive and save the day. With Lord Noriyuki now safe, Usagi then agrees to help Leonardo perform the ritual to go to the Daimyo's dimension, hoping to use his war staff to find his brothers and defeat Ultimate Draco. However, the castle is empty and the Daimyo is distraught, apparently racked with sorrow and furious at the turtles for taking his son away from him, and he tries to have Leonardo and Usagi thrown in the dungeon. His assistant, the Gyoshi, believes their story, however, and lets them use the staff to try and call Leo's brothers as well as Splinter, which he fails at. Because the Gyoshi is actually Ultimate Draco in disguise, and he did all that just to be a prick and watch Leo squirm before he kills him, the Daimyo, and then Splinter. Wow.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole!
Once again, things get very, very weird very, very fast. Ultimate Draco goes in to kill the Daimyo, but is hindered when the Ultimate Ninja part of him can't bring himself to kill his father. A fight breaks out and Splinter, who was already in the Daimyo's dungeon, manages to use the War Staff to call all the turtles together and fight Ultimate Draco. However, the Time Scepter and the War Staff suddenly begin to interact, causing another reality rift that splits Draco and the Ultimate Ninja apart, only to turn them to stone mere seconds after the Ultimate Ninja uses his last words to beg his father for forgiveness.
Wow, that's messed up.
Luckily, that's when Lord Simultaneous appears to give us the quick rundown on what the hell just happened.
This Time Scepter has a mind of its own. It read everyone's thoughts, weighed good against evil, and set everything to right, with a little help from the War Staff.
Now, in fancy writing terms, something like this is called a Deus Ex Machina, which often translates to sorry we couldn't think of an ending. And before any of you get on my case, I know the staff having a mind of its own was established in an earlier episode, making this an only partial example, but this is a show where I make a lot of jokes, so deal with it and shut up! Sweetly enough, Lord Simultaneous resurrects the Ultimate Ninja as a young child so he and his father can start over, and sends everyone home once Lia and Usagi have once again said goodbye. So that's Usagi's second story arc from the 2003 Turtles cartoon, and it was an absolute treat for Usagi fans. The first half, anyway. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a continuation of the Big Brawl arc, or to see things set right between the Daimyo and his son, and it works totally fine as a sequel. And the first half really is fun Usagi action. But I think I would have preferred a genuine Usagi two-parter, finding some other way for Leo and the rest of the Turtles to end up in that world. Oh well. At least we have one episode that comes pretty damn close to showing us what an Usagi Yojimbo cartoon could have looked like. But we're still not done, because Usagi appeared in one more episode called Samurai Tourist. This time around, Splinter invites Usagi to come to New York to speak to Leo, who has gotten aggressive and cynical after a particularly rough patch in the Turtles' lives. For a while, the lot simply hang out and let Usagi, and Gen who tagged along, have a tour of the city with the Turtles, which is good fun and a lot more subdued than his first appearance in the Fred Wolf cartoon. Also, Usagi just looks bitching in shades. There's really not too much to say about this episode. When Gen wanders off on his own, it's mostly used as an excuse to dress him up like Rocksteady since he never appeared in the show. And the reference is taken even further when an assassin named Kojima arrives from Usagi's well to murder him and Leonardo on orders from Lord Happy. And the assassin just so happens to be a warthog. Sadly, he never dresses up as Bebop or even as much as shares a scene with Gen, which honestly seems like a bit of a waste. The episode is good for showing us a side of Usagi that hasn't gotten much time to shine yet, however. His wisdom and his empathy.
My own master was cut down in battle. It was my duty to protect him. I too failed. Failure, fear, In the lives we lead, these things are inevitable. How we deal with them, that is the true test of our character.
And once Kojima is defeated and Usagi and Gen go back to their homeworld, this episode marks the end of Usagi's adventures in animated Turtles media. And I gotta say, the 2003 cartoon almost nailed him. Sure, he's thrown into some wildly out of context adventures compared to what he usually goes through in the comics, and I would have liked to see more of his world, but still, they got the gentle yet badass Ronin almost exactly right, and they clearly do their best to show him, his world, and his supporting cast as much respect as possible when they can. So for that, I applaud them. Oh yeah, he was in a Christmas episode too.
I got you something.
A sword! Wicked! I got you something too.
A sword! What a wonderful gift.
It's funny because they're similar! So now that I've explained Usagi to you, I hope you can understand why I'm so excited to see him appear in this current show. And I really hope that takes off. Because if there is one character who deserves the TV treatment after decades of great material, it's Miyamoto Usagi. And in fact, he almost did have a TV show once. Or at least his limited series spin-off, Space Usagi, almost did. You can very easily find the pilot for the animated version of this far future spin-off on Sakai's own website as well as on YouTube. And even though the pilot itself is only about 4 minutes long, it looks like it could have been a decently cool little show. So why wasn't it? Why was this cancelled? What happened? Well, long story short, this guy happened.
Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare! He goes when no ordinary rabbit would dare!
Now, I haven't watched this show, nor have I read Space Usagi, so I can't tell you how similar these pieces actually are. But the producers certainly felt there wasn't room for 2 spacefaring rabbits on the Saturday morning cartoon scene. And thus, Space Usagi was canned before it could begin. But now he's back, and if this crossover as well as the comic book crossover by Sakai coming out soon managed to be successful, then maybe, just maybe, there's hope for more. I'm holding out for it for sure. But until then, join me in the next episode, folks, where I tell you about my favorite Usagi Yojimbo comic book stories. Bye for now! Whew! I've never covered so much plot in such a short time. Thanks a ton for watching, you guys. And if you're hungry for more Usagi, just wait for the next video where I count down my top 10 favorite comic book stories. If you like this video, please press the like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos on all sorts of nerdy stuff. And if you really liked it, consider supporting me on Patreon and following all of my social media. There are links to all of them in the description. Bye for now, and see you guys next time.